If you spend enough time online, you will eventually stumble across a deeply profound quote about the universe attributed to Albert Einstein, or a piece of romantic life advice supposedly written by Rumi, and more often than not, they never actually said it. A mundane idea feels weak alone. To give it weight, we tether it to a historical giant, elevating an ordinary thought. For centuries, this impulse has corrupted our records. Unverified claims drag into their orbit, destabilizing the center of gravity. In 1911, late in the Ottoman era, the scholar Bediüzzaman Said Nursi analyzed this pattern in his work, Muhakemat. He sought a way to untangle authentic knowledge from the growing web of popular myths. In a specific section called the Fourth Mukaddime, he lays out a stark warning. The uncritical admiration of fame is exactly where the door to superstition swings wide open. To successfully defend the truth, we have to first understand the mechanics of how our own exaggerations systematically dismantle it. Nursi identifies the core problem with a simple rule. Fame attributes to a person what is not theirs. It acts as an incredibly powerful magnet for unverified claims. Take the legendary satirist Nasruddin Hoja. If every joke and story attributed to him were his, it would take multiple lifetimes just to tell them all. The attributions multiply into an avalanche of paper. Nursi notes that if you could ask Hoja himself, he would gladly reject the vast majority of these stories. Why? Because the sheer volume of fake, clumsy additions ruins the sharp, natural elegance of his actual wit. This dynamic is even more dangerous in theology. Nursi points to a bizarre ancient myth claiming the earth rests on the horns of an ox and the back of a giant fish, a story frequently attributed to the highly respected scholar Ibn Abbas. Ibn Abbas did not invent this. It was a foreign, metaphorical myth, but people wanted it to be taken seriously, so they slapped his name on the package, using his prestige to bypass skepticism and gain immediate credibility. The result was intellectual chaos. Later generations looked at the famous name attached to the story and assumed this strange myth was absolute religious dogma, which infected the timeline of accurate historical thought. When credibility is hijacked by over-eager admirers, it becomes a Trojan horse that smuggles pure superstition directly into the heart of factual history. Imagine handing a master artist a poorly drawn, highly disproportionate painting and publicly announcing to the world that it is their ultimate masterpiece. Even if you intended it as a massive compliment, the artist would vehemently reject the attribution. They would reject it because the fake piece shatters the careful balance, the harmony, and the exact proportion that defines their true body of work. The exact same logic applies to religion in history. When we add exaggerated myths to a belief system in an attempt to make it look more miraculous or impressive, we do not glorify it, we disfigure it. Truth possesses a natural, perfect geometry all on its own. Any foreign additions, no matter how well-intentioned, inherently break its structural logic. Mixing fabricated material into a legacy does not add support. It actively and aggressively weakens the original truth. Nursi makes a legal comparison. Just as mixing someone else's property into your own assets creates a legal disaster, mixing exaggerations into a religious or historical record completely destroys its credibility. We see this ethical imbalance constantly in practice. When someone treats a mildly disliked action as a major unforgivable sin, or inflates the reward of a basic daily habit to impossible heights, it violently snaps the scale of the entire belief system. The Hatim of the Fourth Mukaddime lands on a final essential principle. A single grain of truth is better than a whole harvest of imagination. Authentic truth is already luminous, grounded, and convincing. It requires no imaginary stories, no inflated rewards, and no legendary additions to survive time. Ultimately, the highest form of respect to a historical figure, a profound idea, or a faith itself, is protecting it from our own human instinct to exaggerate.